Hey, what's up, YouTube? Welcome to my channel, Ask Jimmy Smith. Today, I'm going to be talking to you about the 5 things that every retail arbitrage seller needs to have when they're going out to a store to start doing their sourcing and shopping for products for their Amazon inventory. Now, one of them will be obvious, and if you've watched any of my other videos, you've probably seen this one come up quite a bit, but I'm giving you a bonus one at the end to make up for it. For some reason, I like to give bonuses on these videos, so I feel like I've done that quite a bit in a lot of them, so I will have a bonus option. So really, it's like the top 6 things that you need before you go out to a store to ultimately do retail arbitrage as best as possible. So let's get into the first one. So the first thing that you need whenever you're going to do retail arbitrage is you need a good setup. And what do I mean by a good setup? Well, whenever I was going out to do arbitrage multiple times, I've done it hundreds, if not more than that, times over the last 5 or 6 years since December of 2015. And whenever I go out there, I want a good setup. And by that, I mean headphones. I want to have headphones with me at all times. If I'm going to go stand in an aisle at a store for multiple hours, I want headphones. And the reason is because first, it kind of gives me something to think about and do. It's a nice little distraction to have that extra background noise while you're standing there sourcing, but also it reduces the amount of times people come up to you and ask you what you're doing. It gives you the ability to just kind of drown out the noise of everyone else around you. So for me, that is crucial in making sure I can stay focused, that I'm not as worried about, because sometimes it can feel a little embarrassing to do arbitrage when you're standing there a while. You see someone walk in the store with an empty cart, and then an hour and a half later, they walk by with a full cart, and you're still pretty much in the same aisle, and they look at you funny, or any of the employees kind of look at you funny. Having the setup and just being able to be in your own space by having headphones, that helps me tremendously. But what it also means with a good setup is you want to have comfortable shoes. I know for guys, that's a lot easier than it would be for women that might be, wearing heels or something after work. But you want to make sure to have comfortable shoes, because that will be extraordinarily important if you're going to be standing in one aisle for multiple hours. I have stood in one aisle on one side of an aisle for 4 hours before, a few different times before. So having comfortable shoes, a comfortable setup will help you tremendously, clothing, etc. Now, I also recommend with that good setup is to bring snacks for yourself, because if you're going to go out on a long sourcing trip, it can be it can really distract you if you have to go and get food. And for me, I just like to have snacks with me, unless I'm making a whole event out of it where I'm going to spend all day and I've got a plan to go eat dinner someplace. Well, that's a fun thing to look forward to. But if you're just going out and you're trying to spend a bunch of time in a store, and you don't have snacks with you, you can always buy them, I guess, depending on the store that you're at. But if you don't have those in that store, it's always nice to have snacks. So the first thing is a good setup. So headphones, comfortable shoes and clothing, and some snacks, and a water bottle, by the way. Have something or a drink of some sort with you because you will get thirsty. So that's number one. So the second thing that you need to ultimately have ready to go whenever you're doing retail arbitrage is you want to make sure that you have either one of a few different things or all of these combined. One, a cashback credit card of some sort, so that you can get points on these purchases. 2, maybe a discounted gift card if you aren't comfortable utilizing cashback credit cards. Maybe you don't want to put it on credit to then pay it off later, but you can have a discounted gift card, and those discounted gift cards can save you 5%, 10%, sometimes 20%, depending on where you are shopping at. So I typically use a website called Cardbear.com. That's CARDBEAR.com. And that is kind of a website that aggregates a few different discounted gift card websites together. So I can look up one store, let's say it's Lowe's, and it'll pull up 5 or 6 different options for me. So I like to use cardbear.com to find those discounted gift cards. And then the third thing within that is if you have coupons for the items, utilize coupons. When we were first getting started with our business, we were very heavy into couponing. And so that ultimately helped us to bring down our buy cost tremendously. Sometimes, depending on the coupons, we would get items for free or for 50, 60% off. Nowadays, the coupon restrictions are a little bit more limited, but if you've got coupons for items, you might as well use them. So I recommend doing that as well. So in this second one, you want to have your money side of things figured out. So either a cashback credit card which you will use to get points, whether airline miles or even just cash back itself, or you want a discounted gift card. And I recommend going to cardbear.com, and there's going to be a link in the description below, or have coupons with you. So always try to look up coupons, and even always try to look up discounted gift cards for restaurants or anywhere you're going. You can find a lot of pretty big restaurants at 10, 15, 20% off, and you can buy them right before you go to that restaurant and save quite a bit of money. If you find 20% off coupons or discounted gift cards, you're going to be able to once every 5 times basically get a meal for free. So that's the way you can look at it, especially if you're outsourcing and you're going to be eating out a lot. Then make sure that you're utilizing discounted gift cards quite heavily. So the third thing that you need to do retail arbitrage and have the right setup, the best possible setup anyway, is you want to have the proper sourcing apps. Now, if you're selling on Amazon and you're doing retail arbitrage, you obviously get the free seller app that comes with your Amazon account. So that's a beautiful thing to use. That's pretty much what we use mainly for all of the sourcing that we do. We'll also use the Amazon buyer app because you will get different results in doing that. But you want to have some sort of an app like Scoutify. There's a ton of them out there, but Scoutify is the one that we use that you can create buy lists with. So if you're outsourcing and you're finding products, you're putting it in the cart. If you use an app like Scoutify, which comes for free with an Inventory Lab subscription, if you use Scoutify, you can create a buy list, which tremendously helps speed up the shipping process later. So you don't get home. I remember early days in our Amazon business, we would get home and we'd take everything out of the bags that we bought, and we'd be like, all right, let's relook up all the stuff that we bought so that we can now create a shipment. It's so much easier to do that in the store, take a little bit of extra time and add it to a buy list while you're there, so that whenever you get home, it's already there. You don't have to relook up anything else. So for me, just the Inventory Lab subscription alone to get Scoutify for free with it has been tremendously helpful. It saves us a ton of time. So it's worth it with how much shopping and sourcing that we do. Also, if you are bigger into replenishable products, or you're trying to figure out how much you need to rebuy of inventory that you buy consistently, I highly recommend utilizing Replen Dashboard and that app, because you can create shopping lists within Replen Dashboard, and you can have the app itself automatically populated as you add items to that buy list. So then you can just do all the shopping in store, and it communicates between the two. Side note, just so you know, it is a company I own and have helped to build with a couple other Amazon sellers. So I'm a little biased towards it, just to be honest, but it is tremendously helpful for us as we grew our team and scaled. We can give that then to our shoppers, and the buy list that they need to buy from is directly right there. So tremendously helpful. Recommend having that. If you're brand new, you might not need Scoutify or the Replen Dashboard app yet, but Scoutify would be more important, something that you can build buy lists with for new products. And then as you grow and scale and you've got replenishable items, then maybe you can think about the Replen Dashboard app that comes with your Replen Dashboard subscription as well. So the fourth thing that you need to ultimately have the best success with retail arbitrage, this one's going to be kind of left field a little bit, and you don't necessarily need this, but to me, it's something that is very helpful. And you need to have a vehicle that has trunk space. And I say that from experience, that whenever we first started, I had a Ford Fusion. So that was what I was driving back in 2015. And that Ford Fusion was great. It was a workhorse. It did everything we needed it to do, but we would run out of space all the time. And so ultimately upgrading to a smaller SUV or a bigger SUV, or even if you've got a truck that has some sort of a camper shell or a bed cover on it, that can help as well. But you need to have a vehicle with trunk space, because as you start to grow your business, you're going to have that space. And for us, it made complete sense to trade in the car and get a smaller SUV for me to be able to drive. So that way we would have more space. And I can't tell you how many times either that I would go with that small SUV and still pack it to the gills where everything was completely full. So I highly recommend having a vehicle with trunk space. If you don't have one, don't just go buying a new vehicle to do this business. You can start out small, but maybe have a friend that comes with you with a bigger vehicle, or borrow their vehicle on the weekends so you can go shopping. That is tremendously helpful. The worst feeling that you can have. And I still remember standing at a store. Well, actually, I guess leaving Brittany at a store with the items because we ran out of trunk space, and I had to go back, unload everything, and bring the vehicle back to get Brittany. And that's one of the worst feelings to have to do that, especially if you're out there shopping by yourself. And if you don't have enough trunk space, you just have to leave the products at the store or something, I guess. I never ran into that. But ultimately having either a vehicle ready to go that you can borrow or somebody that's able to come pick you up and help you whenever you're done with the store sourcing, one of those things will help, but you do need a vehicle with trunk space. And then the fifth thing, which is the one that I said most people have heard from me, which is why I've got the bonus one next. But the fifth thing is a Keepa.com subscription. If you're doing retail arbitrage at all, you need to know Keepa. And I go through all of that in my book, Side Hustle to Full-Time Income, and in the Replens course that we've had, which you can find out more about both of those things at AskJimmySmith.com. But Keepa.com will ultimately help you to not buy bad products, and it will also help you to buy good products that maybe you wouldn't have bought otherwise. To me, the subscription of $17 a month, approximately at the time this is recording, it saves us way more money than that just by stopping us from making bad purchases. So if you've been hesitant, if you had to buy one software subscription, get Keepa.com. I'm not going to belabor the point too much because I talk about it in so many other videos, but it is the one software tool that if I had to get rid of everything else, I would keep Keepa, which is odd enough, right? And then the bonus sixth one for the 5 things every retail arbitrage seller needs video is to know how to find replens. Now, you technically don't need this, but I remember when we first started in our Amazon business, we went out, we did a lot of clearance shopping. That's what we did for basically the first year and a half of our business. And we did well with it. You know, we'd make $10,000, $20,000 a month here and there, pretty much around $10,000 a month in sales is what we were doing, just the clearance shopping. Over time, though, it did get more difficult because you started to run out of items, right? You have to constantly be looking for more and more items. And so knowing how to find replenishable products revolutionized our business. It's led to over 1,000 success stories from the course and the book that I've put out, which you can see at AskJimmySmith.com/success if you want to see over 500 of those. But knowing how to find replenishable products is what changed our business and so many other people's businesses. Because then we could go to the store, buy things full price that were on the store shelf and sell them at a markup on Amazon and make a very healthy profit margin doing it. And it's not just us. Again, over 1,000 people have had success doing this model. There's no guarantee that it'll be successful for you, but if you put in the work, you follow a lot of the information that's out there, the things that I've taught in this YouTube channel, you will start to see at least the light at the end of the tunnel. If you're used to doing clearance products and you're trying to move into replens, it makes a tremendous difference in the way that you look at your business, because then you can grow and scale it. You can build a team like we have. You can get to over 7 figures per year like we have for the last few years. We've seen people go through the information and do over $300,000 in a month, which is way past, what we do, which is over $100,000 in a month. So the information, once you know how to find replens, it can change the way that you run your business, because then it becomes a business and not a hobby. It becomes something that can be grown and scaled and not something that ultimately is going to suffer if there's bad clearance deals, or it's going to suffer if for whatever reason you can't get out and find more products. If you've got replens that you can buy online, you can use the hybrid arbitrage model I recently taught. You can use the retail arbitrage model. You can sort or scale it to other people doing it. It's just way easier to outsource and grow from there. So the 6 things that every retail arbitrage seller needs to have before doing any kind of retail arbitrage themselves would be: 1, a good setup. Right? We talked about that. The second thing would basically be to have the money in order so that you can have some extra savings in there, the cashback credit card, the discounted gift cards, and or the coupons. The third thing that you need are the right sourcing apps, preferably ones that allow you to make buy lists and help you to scale and grow properly, like Scoutify or Replen Dashboard. And fourth thing is a vehicle with trunk space. It doesn't have to be your own, but have that ready to go. Have somebody that is available to help you if you need the extra help in loading up a truck or an SUV, so that you have enough space for all the products you're buying. The fifth thing is Keepa.com. And then the bonus 6th one is how to find replens. Having that knowledge truly transforms a retail arbitrage business into something that is a business and not a hobby. So hopefully these 6 things were eye-opening to you. If you think of some other ones, please post them in the comments below. because I'd love to hear your thoughts on them. Maybe there's another 5 things every retail arbitrage seller needs before they go out. And I could have gone into some training type things, but I wanted to make this video a bit different than what you probably are finding on YouTube. But I'd still love to hear your comments below. Please like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell, all that fun stuff that everyone asks for. Really appreciate it. And I hope that you're enjoying these videos and look forward to doing more of them. So thank you so much for listening. And I hope that you have a blessed rest of your day.